In addition to all that, Knuckles did some treasure hunting. Today, he's gonna do some more treasure hunting. Pretty good omen to start out on, if I say so myself. But seriously, Knuckles was hunting for the Master Emerald pieces, found them, but the thoughts that Eggman said about Sonic looking for the Master Emerald still haunts his mind, so I get the feeling our trio's gonna be meeting up really soon. And we're gonna be seeing a lot of Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles in this particular episode. And hopefully repetition doesn't bother the snot out yet, cause unfortunately a little bit of repetition is required to properly show off everything I want to show off with this project.
The train headed for
Not even gonna let you finish that, cause we're not going to Station Square anytime soon. For now, it's a matter of finding what happened to Sonic. You'll see what that's a reference to later. Oh hey, well you know, Sonic's by the waterfall. I bet we should investigate that. Yes, the waterfall is that way. Go, go, embrace your knucklehead destiny.
There's Sonic. Eggman was right. What's that in his hand? It looks like a piece of the Master Emerald. He has no right to have that.
Hey, Knuckles! Whoa! What do you think you're doing?
All right. Put him up. Hand over the emerald now.
That's not gonna happen, buddy!
Okay, I'm gonna just apologize in advance now, because these character fights are infamous for being stupidly easy, and yet I'm gonna draw it out as much as I can. If only to show off stupid stuff like how I can find a whole oil field of rings in the middle of the boss fight, because it's technically counted as the overworld. And honestly, I'm not sure why I draw it out so much and don't just finish it.
Oh no!
Yeah, maybe I will actually get somewhere now, or I'll continue to dig, and inevitably get hurt, stupidly, because of that. I swear, this is a lot easier than I'm making it look. Just end it already.
Oh no!
Just jump into his face.
Oh no!
Like that. He's not gonna do anything cool, it's not worth it. Okay. Fight number 2. Already a horrible start with redeeming myself.
Oh no.
Yeah. Actually, Sonic does it too, so why is it such a
Oh no.
iconic part of the Sonic series to hear that voice clip of Knuckles? Really now. Am I drawing out the fight again, or am I just being lousy? I guess I'm trying to see if I can do the light speed attack on him, and it's not working. At least we're showing off what the AI does with these characters. Oops, I talked over one. Thankfully, we got one more fight to redeem ourselves and prove.
Oh no. Give it your best shot.
Let's try to be quiet, because I almost talked over all the unknowns again.
Oh no.
There we go. That makes up for the one I talked over in Sonic Story. Oh, that tussle.
Oh no! The Chaos Emeralds!
And there is no winner, only losers.
Oh! Like taking candy from a baby!
That's a Chaos Emerald.
Oh, really?
That's right, fool! You made it all too easy! You practically gave them to me! Hold it right there, creep! You can't get away with this!
Knuckles, don't tell me Eggman tricked you again.
Me? What about you?
Way to go, Knucklehead.
Now I have 4 lovely emeralds. Chaos! These are for you, my friend.
Oh, he transformed again.
Man, no one ever cuts us any slack.
Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed having 3 of the same exact boss fight in a row, cause it's gonna happen again! Cause guess what? We're facing off against Chaos 4, and it makes sense Sonic would face off against it. I guess it would make sense that Tails faces off against it. But guess who else faces off against it cause he's in the same cutscene? That's right, Knuckles! So we gotta go through this fight 3 times. It is by far the most sluggish fight in the game. My god, there's no good way I can imagine to speed up the process. You just gotta wait for him to come out of the water and boop his head. I don't even consider it a hard fight. You can fall in the water and just be fine. As long as you just... Eventually, if you stand in the water long enough without jumping, you'll sink in low enough to take damage and lose your rings, but you don't even drown like most water. We're not even gonna get started on what the heck makes this water special. I'm just gonna assume it's the magic of chaos and swamp water, cause this lake was not this big before the boss fight. I'm assuming it was taking place on that little lake with the waterfall, and it looks nothing like this. So I'm assuming like chaos had something to do with his magic water voodoo, making this, and that's what's making the water kind of more jelly-like than actual water-like. Yeah, still got one more to go. I mean, I'm gonna make this fight look fast and easy, but this fight just is the most... that's why I was hesitant to say it's the slowest, but definitely feels the sluggish, because it feels like you're waiting forever for Chaos to come out of the water, just and doing his attacks. It's not like where other boss fights where there's a... feels like a much more set, quicker period of time before they expose themselves again. This guy just swims around and around and around for what feels like forever. I mean, that took almost 2 minutes, which really feels long in terms of Sonic time. So Tails kind of makes this boss fight a joke. One thing I know is that he has a little harder time hitting Chaos because he doesn't have the homing attack. But if you get right in front of his head and then jump up, like I did for that first hit, you'll be just fine. And you can just fly around if you ever are struggling to find a lily pad. So even if the water was a threat in the slightest, this boss fight would still be a joke with Tails. We just gotta wait for it to be over. You may be asking, JackitK, if you feel this boss fight is so repetitive, and it's the same exact fight with all 3 characters, why bother to show them all? I don't want anyone to be left out. It just doesn't feel right to do Sonic and Tails and not do Knuckles as well. I'll get better with this sort of repetition soon. It just feels like it'd be like if I were to completely cut out a Tails level, even though it's practically the same thing as some of the Sonic levels. Just doesn't feel right, man. I'd rather just sit here and complain about this boss fight. Go from there. We can take in a little bit of the high quality glitch action that's taking place too. And we're almost done. We're a third of the way there. With Knuckles, I guess it's worth knowing that since you can't homing attack and you can't fly, you might have a little more tough time, but from my experience, his glide works just as well as flying around as Tails. You just gotta be a bit more careful. That's assuming you're trying to avoid the water, which like I said is completely unnecessary. just glide. With Knuckles, the best way to attack him is to glide until you're right on top of him, then just let go of the glide button, and you'll boop right on top of his head. Yeah. If I were to pick out a character who has the easiest and hardest time against this boss, I do the tier list in this order. Knuckles being the easiest because you can just glide and drop on their head. Still counts as an attack because Knuckles is in ball form when he stops gliding. In terms of maneuverability, Tails has the second easiest time. But in terms of actually attacking the guy, Sonic has the second best. And just do the flip-flop for the worst. I guess I could see this being a bit of a beginner's trap, especially if you don't realize how harmless the water is, and just panic whenever you can't reach it. But as long as you keep jumping in this fight, flying, gliding, whatever, you'll never have to worry about the water. We at the final hit?
Is that all you got?
We are at the final hit. I'll see you after some cutscenes. Just kidding, cutscene. Because it's the exact same cutscene between the three characters. At least for the cinematic.
Behold my floating masterpiece, the Egg Carrier! But it pales in comparison to the power of chaos. Adieu, until we meet again, my friend.
Hey, we can't let him get away! Let's get to my workshop and we'll take the tornado!
Yeah!
You guys go. I have some unfinished business to take care of.
No problem, Knuckles. We'll take care of everything here.
Come on! Let's get going!
That voice crack though. Oh yeah, I want to take a moment to showcase. If you get to this point in Knuckles' story and go back to Station Square, just like with Sonic and Tails, our good old purple cat friend's sitting there. I think I was originally gonna do a transition here or end the episode off, that's why I left the clip in, but I decided to add some clips to extend the length.
Where are you,
Sorry for talking over that fabulous voice.
Georgie? Where are you?
But yeah, this is a bit of a short episode still, so I guess I can add a little bit more. We can get one of the other more annoying parts of this game out of the way. But first, high quality Sonic Adventure action! Have I mentioned I love doing random stuff like this in the game like this? Alright, I'm gonna let you enjoy the rest of this in a little silence.
Sonic, wait here for a second.
And it's time for Nothing Wrong With It. Pretty harmless, but still one of my lesser favorite moments of this game. The Sky Chase minigame. Round 1. You can practically just not shoot anything and leave the controller alone, and you'll survive. You may have to just look back every now and then to make sure a plane not crashing into you or a bomb not shooting at you, but it's a lot less overwhelming than it looks. Trust me on it. And I guess I wouldn't be so unenthusiastic about this if it wasn't for the fact that, spoilers, we're going to be doing something very similar to this, if not exactly the same, later on in the game. And it adds nothing new to this gameplay element. It's a nice diversion, but I'd rather them just have done this sort of gameplay element once. I definitely would be a lot less inclined to complain about it if we didn't have to do it a second time. All this talk about how I'm not a fan of this gameplay, I should probably explain what it actually is. If you tap A, you'll shoot a little bullet, but it's pretty much useless because it only shoots in front of your plane, like wherever the nose is on the tornado, no matter where your cursor is. The cursor is actually used for lining up your homing shots, which you do by holding down the A button and then releasing. Kind of similar to another gameplay mechanic that we haven't actually been introduced yet, so I won't spoil it. Which I honestly would rather be doing than this. But yeah, you do get rank based on your accuracy, however, since you have to tap the A button once to hold it down for your homing shots, those bullets you shoot out count towards your accuracy that you get scored on at the end of the game. So yeah. Score is very unforgiving. Actually just getting through it in one piece is pretty dang easy.
We did it!
Way to go, Tails!
Hey guys, I looked back because it looks like Eggman's up to something. Kinda looks like a giant laser coming right at you. Or, you know, you could just stand there too. And since I actually have a soul, I'm not going to put you through that same exact thing with both characters. Just know that Tails got the better score. Anyways, that's the last bit of gameplay I got for today. So I'll say adieu now, and see you all for the next episode. Take care.